of minimalist lifting. Yes, I have been doing this art for a while, almost 8 years, and it has become my main philosophy when it comes to lifting. It has really helped transform my strength and muscle growth. We'll break down why doing less in the gym might actually give you more. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by science, experience, and the timeless principle of strength training. Let's get started. If you're not getting anywhere with your gym journey, despite doing lots and lots of sets and reps and going to gym like 5 to 6 times a day, if you're 30, 35, 40, and if it's getting too much for you, maybe it is time to consider a minimalist approach. My journey to minimalist lifting wasn't planned, it was a revelation. Revealed by Mark Rippetoe, the great man. I read his book Starting Strength and watched his video, and I realized that my most productive sessions weren't the ones where I did 20 sets or even more and left the gym exhausted. They were the sessions where I focused on the essentials, executed them well, and left feeling strong. This realization inspired me to write my article, How to Get Strong by Doing Less in the Gym, on medium.com. That piece is a distilled nectar of my thoughts on this subject. A moment of clarity that I always cherish. The link is in the description if you would like to check it out. So minimalist lifting is simple. Focus on fewer exercises, like you can count them on your fingers of one hand, like 5 or 4. Yes, 4 exercises, maybe 5. So fewer sets, fewer sessions while maximizing effort and efficiency. It's about quality over quantity. You are making sure that the volume is manageable, yet the intensity goes up. I will explain that more in the programming section. Minimalist lifting is all about focusing on the essentials. Think compound lifts, squats, deadlift, bench press, and overhead presses. It will also have accessories like chin-ups, cleans, barbell rows, but that's just accessory. You don't need to add it too much. Here's the catch. Minimalist doesn't mean easy or lazy. It means being efficient. You focus on what works, cut the fluff, and avoid the diminishing returns that come with endless sets of isolation exercises. And trust me, your gains will thank you. Because instead of spending 2 hours at the gym doing bicep curls, tricep extension, lat pull down, calf raises, you're using that time to recover, eat, or I don't know, live your life. Let's talk about the science of optimal set. Let's geek out for a second. Studies have shown that you don't need endless sets to see results. For example, one study found that 10 to 15 sets per muscle group per week are highly effective for growth. A meta-regression published in Sports Archive found that while increasing volume initially boosts hypertrophy, yes, in the beginning it did, but the gains taper off sharply after 10 to 15 set range. Think of it, just think of it. Doing more, you're getting lesser and lesser out of it. Another study showed that experienced lifters don't benefit from additional volume the way beginners might. Once you have built a solid foundation, your body responds better to quality work with its optimal range. So instead of grinding through endless sets, put your focus into each rep. Give it your all, then move on. This approach doesn't just save time, it optimizes recovery, reduces risk, and keeps you coming back for more. I have included all the studies in the description below. Take a look if you're someone who loves diving into the evidence. Here's the thing, if I had overloaded myself with endless sets, reps, and exercises, I would have burned out or worse, gotten injured. Well, I did do that in my 20s and 30s and up to my late 30s. I was doing 5 to 6 days, bodybuilding, cookie cutter programs, getting nowhere, and I was doing yo-yoing, which means I would go for 6 months, get burned out, and go back in 3 months' time. So I was very inconsistent. To stay consistent, minimalist lift has actually helped me, because that is a secret sauce for long-term success. It has allowed me to thrive in my 40s. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right thing. All right, let's talk about the law of diminishing returns. I know it sounds serious, but I think you guys need to know this. The law of diminishing returns means that if you keep adding more of one thing, like workers or materials to a task, while keep everything else the same, you will eventually get less and less extra result from each addition. Yeah, think of it. It's the idea that after a certain point, each additional set or exercise gives you less and less benefit. The same goes for training. That extra set or exercise might seem like it's pushing you further, but in reality, it's probably just wearing you out. Worse, it exposes you to greater risk of injury, over fatigue, poor form, and unnecessary volume. These are the trifecta of bad outcomes. In minimalist lifting, we flip the script by focusing on the essential lift and staying within the optimal range. Remember, optimal is the word. You lower the risk of burnout and injury. It's like exercising with safety net, but one that still pushes you to grow. So let me give you an example of diminishing returns. You are eating egg rolls. The first one, amazing. The second, still good. By the fifth or sixth, you are just eating for the sake of it. Each additional egg roll brings you less satisfaction. Lifting is no different. That extra set or rep might not add any real value. In fact, it could increase fatigue and risk your injury. Injuries don't diminish returns, they destroy them. Minimalist lifting keeps things efficient and sustainable. It's about leaving the gym feeling accomplished and not destroyed. Too many beginners fall into the cookie cutter trap. They see bodybuilders like Arnold and C-Bum. They start watching pumping iron like 10 times. Well, I did. And then they proceed to gym, training 6 days a week of high volume program. These programs are for elite athletes and bodybuilders and not for our beginner who is an average Joe. But here's the truth. Professional lifters structure their entire lives around training. That's all they do. For the average person juggling work, family, and responsibilities, this approach is unrealistic and often leads to burnout. You are that average Joe, and I am that average Joe. Minimalist lifting is sustainable. It's something you can stick with for life. The philosophy isn't new. Pioneers like Mark Rippetoe have emphasized foundational lifts and minimalistic routines for decades. These timeless principles prove that minimalist lifting isn't just a trend, it's a proven approach to getting stronger and staying consistent. Minimalist lifting stimulates, not annihilates. All right, let's talk about hunger, the secret ingredient. And what I've discovered is when you lift less but with intention, you finish your workout with energy and hunger. Not literal hunger, but the motivation to come back for more. Yes. Doing too much leaves you exhausted and dragging yourself to the gym. Minimalist lift keeps the fire alive, ensuring every session feels purposeful so that you are dying to go back for your next session. Let's go for a challenge. Try minimalist lifting for a month and see how it transforms your training or gives you a new paradigm. Here's the sample program. This is a novice linear progression program straight from Starting Strength. So it's not created by me. I'm not taking any credit. So it has workout A. You do squats, 3 sets of 5, same weight. Bench press, 3 sets of 5, same weight. And deadlift, 1 set of 5, same weight. So basically, for all the sets, the weight remains same. Then you take 1 day off, you fully recover. You don't do anything, especially any lifting. And you come and do workout B, which is squats this time with 3 sets of 5 reps. And this time you will add 2.5 kg to the bar. Then you do overhead press. So it's different from bench press. You do 3 sets of 5, same weight. And then you do deadlift, 1 set of 5. And this time you will add 2.5 kgs. So the program alternates between workout A and workout B over 3 non-consecutive training days per week. For example, Monday, workout A, Wednesday, workout B, Friday, workout A. This alternates from beginning with workout B and so forth. You get the drift. Let me know in the comment if you would like to do it, what was the experience, and come back. Let me explain you something more important, which is the core of this minimalist approach. If you have a headache, do you take one painkiller? Or you might take 2, maybe 3. You don't take 5. You don't take the whole bottle. Of course, you stick to the right amount of tablets, which is the minimum dose. And that dose will give you the effect that you want, which it will kill the pain. The more isn't always better. Exercise works the same way. Exercise is also a medicine, and it's more than likely that you're overdosing yourself on that medicine we call exercise. The minimum effective dose is what your body needs to adapt and grow. Anything beyond that is just stress without payoff. Minimalist lifting respects this principle, allowing you to make steady progress without frying your central nervous system. Recovery is not an option, guys. It's the foundation of progress. Science consistently shows that muscle growth happens not during workouts, but in the recovery period afterward. For example, research published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise highlights how proper recovery is just as crucial as the workout itself for stimulating muscle growth and repair. When we train, we break down muscle tissue. Recovery is where the real magic happens, as the body rebuilds stronger and more resilient fibers. Now, this is where minimalist lifting comes into play. By focusing on fewer, high-quality sets and exercises, minimalist lifting naturally allows for optimal recovery. It doesn't bombard your body with excessive fatigue, which can be counterproductive. In fact, a study published in Sports Medicine Open found that high training volumes can significantly delay recovery, especially for experienced lifters. Pushing too hard with unnecessary volume can lead to diminished performance and an increased risk of overtraining. Think about it. If training is like driving a car, you wouldn't floor the gas pedal all the time. Doing so would burn out the engine. Instead, you need to coast, let the engine rest, and maintain a sustainable pace. Minimalist lifting works in the way it ensures you're not flooring the gas pedal every session, but instead balancing intensity with recovery. Your body needs to grow and adapt. This balance is why minimalist lifting excels. It emphasizes the minimum effective dose, the amount of work required to stimulate progress without overwhelming your recovery systems. This approach doesn't just improve consistency and sustainability, it also reduces the risk of injuries, overloading yourself with successive sets, reps, or exercises. It can really induce the fatigue errors. It increases the likelihood of strains and other setbacks. And we don't need it, really. Who needs injury and setbacks? With minimalist lifting, recovery is built into the program by design. You're not spending hours in the gym doing unnecessary exercises or burning yourself out. Instead, you're focusing on the essentials: compound lift, progressive overload, and proper rest. All right, let's talk about responsibility as a coach. I'm a personal trainer and a strength coach here in Australia. And to some degree, I'm also an influencer, a YouTuber. However, it's not going viral. Anyway, I take responsibility seriously about tailoring the programs for my client and their realities. I don't overload them with the volume. Most of my clients have demanding jobs, families, and limited time. For them, a minimalist programs of 3 days per week, focusing on the big 4 lifts: squat, deadlift, bench press, and overhead press. It's not just effective, it's life-changing. They love it. They love my approach, saying, "You are asking us to do less." And they are confused. I said, yes, because if you do less, you ensure and I ensure that you will continue on this path for a longer time. Remember, longevity is the key. It's not just for 2 months that I want you to be on your gym journey. But it's different if you are a raging teenager with boundless energy and no responsibility. They can feel free to hit the gym 6 days a week because they have poisonous levels of testosterone. I was one a long time ago. But for everyone else, a minimalist approach will give you the best bang for your buck. Most of the time, a 3-day week program focusing on big lifts works wonders. This approach aligns with the concept of minimum effective dose, doing just enough to stimulate growth without overdoing it. Exercise is medicine. Overdosing on it won't give you better results. It'll just lead to burnout or injury. Let me ask you, how many sets do you currently do per lift? What's your biggest challenge in simplifying your training? Drop the answers in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys, and your feedback will help me create more videos. So please do that. All right, let's think philosophically now. I'm a philosophical lifter. Minimalist lifting isn't just about the gym. It's a life philosophy, and I've lived that life, and I still live that life. I've lived without TV for a long time, and yes, that has permeated into my gym as well. By focusing on fewer but more meaningful things, you can excel without burning out. Simply focus and thrive. I have no washing machine or a dishwasher. I live on my own, and I have realized that if I have lesser things, I have lesser things to worry about and lesser things to handle. And the things that I have, I can focus on them better. If I have only 4 lifts to do, I can do a session with 1 or 2 lifts, and I can do them properly. I think that it is important to experience minimalism in this day and age that we live, and I'm lucky that I've done that. It leads me to a sense of abundance, and that sense of abundance leads me to contentment. Thank you for sticking with me through this video. And yes, I realize for a video about minimalism, it's been a bit long. It's not a very minimalistic video, but I had so much to share. Remember, I've linked studies of my Medium article, How to Get Strong by Doing Less in the Gym, in the description. I also have the link for the studies in the description. Doing less doesn't mean settling for less. Don't be mistaken, okay? It means training smarter, not harder. Take this philosophy to the gym and to life and see the difference, guys. If you've tried minimalist lifting or have questions, drop them in the comments. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more no-nonsense strength training. Until next time, guys, keep it simple and keep it strong.